Hello everyone, this is Sir Weds of iSchoolForms.tech, and today we're going to be showing you how to design a certificate without the use of Adobe Photoshop, MS Paint, or any paid editing tools on the market. As I was saying, today we're going to be showing you how to design a certificate without using any paid programs. With the famous Adobe Photoshop around, many digital editors would like to use this application, but more often than not, many Photoshop users don't really have this paid application. So, what if there was a way to use all the interface available in Photoshop but without installing it at all? And we're going to show you that today. We will design this very simple yet elegant certificate without using Photoshop or any paid programs. But before we begin, we'd like to request everyone to visit our website via www.iSchoolForms.tech, and you can subscribe to our publications through adding your name and email address here. We also publish YouTube tutorials and infomercials like this one, so please subscribe here in our channel too, and be sure to click that notification bell icon. That being said, let's begin. Open your web browser and go to photop.com. Photop is a Photoshop-based website which mimics almost everything you can do on the Photoshop paid application. Here, you can directly open .psd files, .xd files, or any raw image which you have saved on your system. But for this tutorial, we will be making a certificate from scratch. We click on File and click New, that's Alt-Control-N on your keyboard. The great thing about Photop is that they have custom sizes for social images such as Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, or Twitter. There's also the print format with different sizes, even business cards. Then there's photo, screen, mobile, and ads. Since we're gonna make certificates, we're gonna be clicking print and choose A4. You can choose to rename this project, but we're not gonna be doing that here anymore. Then the sizes are set, the resolution and background color. Then we're gonna switch the width and height dimensions to create a landscape layout. It's gonna be 297 by 210 millimeters. And then we click Create. So this is our canvas, which is layout set for A4 sized paper. As we mentioned a while ago, you should be somewhat familiar with the left side panel bar functions here, along with the right side panel of layers, history, and swatches. Now we're gonna make some guides by turning on our rulers. This is to ensure we got our shapes aligned and nicely cut. We're gonna make some margins by dragging outlines here. We're gonna make layer guide for upper and lower sides here. Then we're gonna make more of it as guide of our shape here. Now we're gonna add another guide on the right side, which will be the edge of our shape for the left and right. Then another layer guide for the smaller shape on the middle. So we're done with our ruler layer guides, which you can actually add more if you want to, but I guess I'll just stick with this for now. Next thing we'll need to do is to make rectangular shaped backgrounds of our certificate, which you saw a while ago. So we're gonna use the rectangular shape tool here and choose a color that you so desire. You can choose from the panel here, or if you want more colors, just click the upper rectangle above the color panel and pick your color here, or just indicate the color ID here, which I will do. Now I'm gonna click here and drag the shape up to the edge of our ruler guide, which we made a while ago. I'm gonna rename the shape as blue background. By pressing Ctrl T on your keyboard, I can resize the shape of my rectangle or create a parallelogram edge. By holding Ctrl on the keyboard and clicking one of the edges of the rectangle, I can just drag the edge to reshape it like that. Don't worry if it's not really straightened up here, since the shape is outside of our canvas, so it won't matter. The shape inside won't be affected if it's not straightened up on our edges. The next step will be to place another white background that overlaps this blue background we just made. Again, with the rectangular shape tool, we make another shape by clicking outside the canvas and dragging the shape all the way to the end of our canvas right here. The background fill is still colored blue, so what we're gonna do is to click the fill color and choose white. And then we're gonna rename this layer as white background. Doing the same thing we did with the blue background, we're gonna adjust the edges of our white background by pressing Ctrl T on the keyboard and holding the Control key and move one edge to reshape it. Now we're fixed with the shape, we'll adjust the opacity, also known as transparency, of our shape to allow the blue background to resonate on our white background layer. Following that, we're gonna add the last shape we're gonna be making, which would be colored green just like this. We'll try to test the gradient layer first if it's gonna look good on it, but if it doesn't, then maybe we'll just change it up. Unfortunately, that didn't quite look good, so we'll make a separate shape here and maybe create a double colored rectangle. We'll make the first one here and do the same things we did just like before, adjusting the shapes to our desired form. As you can see here, the white background shows up below our gradient rectangle we made a while ago, so it would be better to just turn this layer off by clicking this eye icon. Then we'll duplicate this triangular shape we made by right-clicking here and click Duplicate Layer right there. Again, by pressing Ctrl T on the keyboard, we'll rotate this shape here to match the opposite layer below and change its color. Now we go back to the light green background here and adjust its shape again, just like how we did it last time. Activate both layers by holding Ctrl and clicking them both like that. Press Ctrl T on your keyboard and drag the edge of the shape to align it with the blue background edge below just like that. So this is how our background's gonna look like. It's not much yet, but it's just the design. We'll turn off our grids by going to View and click Guides, which is currently checked. Maybe we'll just adjust the opacity of our white background a little bit higher to hide the blue color more. Moving on, we're gonna put our leaf design right over here over our two green shapes. I already have one here on my desktop, so we'll just drag it right over here on our canvas. I'm gonna move the layer image all the way to the top so that it will be above all the existing layers, and again, adjust its size to make it larger. You can find a lot of leaf PNG images just like this one on the internet actually. Next is to adjust the opacity of our green backgrounds to allow the color to contrast one another. All that's left to do now is to put the content of our certificate design over our canvas. So, click on the text tool, which you can access by pressing the letter T on your keyboard. We'll put the title certificate and adjust the font size here. Then we're going to choose a font here which would be appropriate for our design. Again, all of these are up to you, so I'll just choose what I think would fit my design here, then adjust its size and move it a little bit to the left. Next, we'll be changing its color to the green theme we have here, and maybe space each letter out and resize it. Then we'll add another one right below here and put with highest honors and adjust the parameters the same way we did with the last one. I'll duplicate this layer here to put another text and edit it and type, "This certificate is presented to," again, resizing and reshaping it the same way we did a while ago. Up next would be the name of the students here. We'll choose a font that would be somewhat cursive to highlight the name, adjust its size, then change its color. We're gonna change again the opacity of our white background since the color of our name isn't popping out. Next would be placing the grade and section of this student and maybe center it below the name. We're almost done right here. Only left to do is to put the citation of our certificate and signatories. So we'll put the citation right now to be something like, "Given this 17th day of February 2019 at Manuel Alcazan Elementary School, D. Ponce Street, Davao City." Now the last thing would be the signatories. But before we do that, we'll pull down the edge of our white background to allow space below. Let's put the advisor's name and school principal as the signatory of our certificate. Next, let's put some lines above them, maybe zooming in like so. Let's choose the color of our line. Be sure to press Shift on your keyboard to keep the line straight. And let's put a sample name above it, maybe my name. And then move it down a little. Now highlight both layers, then duplicate it and drag it above the principal text. Double-click on the name of the layer and edit the name. Let me just double-check with the grid if it's aligned. Okay, that's good. Let's zoom out. One last step would be to place the logos of our certificate. Maybe one here and two on the upper right. Again, by just dragging from our desktop like so, our images will be placed automatically on our canvas. And voila! That's our certificate. You can now just save it by clicking File, and click Export as PNG, and click Save, and it will automatically be downloaded on your desktop. So that's it. That's how you make a logo without installing Photoshop on your desktop. We'll be putting a link below to download this sample PSD file in case you wish to use it on Photopea and test edit it for yourself. I hope you found this tutorial useful. This is Sir Weds of highschoolforms.tech. Remember to keep it simple, efficient, and ambitious. See ya!